Injury update, Kyron Brown went to IR. Jeff Smith has been moved to the active roster. If we were practicing today, Ryan Griffin with an ankle, he'd be out. Demaryius Thomas with a hamstring knee would be out. Bilal Powell, ankle illness, would be out today. Chuma with the knee. Quinnen Williams with the burner. Jamal with the ankle. Brian Poole in the concussion protocol. And Mollett with the calf. Those guys would be out. If we were practicing today, limited would be Beecham, Ty Montgomery, Farley, Nate Shepard, McClendon, and Henry Anderson. So that's kind of where we're at with the injuries right now. And with that, you guys fire away.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, what's your feeling about Jamal and the possibility of him returning for Thursday?
Yeah, I'm not going to count him out. I know kind of how he feels about the whole situation, but I think we just have to look at it with trainers, doctors' perspective, Joe's thoughts, kind of all of us getting together and I know where Jamal stands on it. It's just we just got to make sure that we do the right thing by him.
Manish, Daily News, your line is active.
Adam, outside from the obvious regarding Lamar Jackson, he's obviously a good runner. What makes him so dangerous? And secondly, the fact that he has improved as a passer, how much of that is a function of the fact that teams obviously got to load up the box to try to stop the run as a team?
I think he runs their offense very well. Obviously, how they're running the football right now is as good as probably a lot of us have ever seen as far as running backs and a quarterback being able to run the football. But I think the play action pass off of what they're doing in the run game, I mean, when you watch the tape, you just see guys running wide open. I mean, they're getting guys sucked up in the line of scrimmage, and he's getting throws, and these guys are doing a great job run after catch. I mean, he's making really good throws, though. There's been times where it's really tight coverage, and he's threading it in there. He's dropping it in there on certain routes, on outbreaking routes. I mean, he's making all the throws. He's throwing down the field, intermediate, short, And then they're doing a good job of being creative in the passing game as well. Greg Roman's done a great job as far as really taking advantage of kind of how teams are trying to play them, and they're really gutting people.
Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, we've talked about this in a number of times this year with the rash of injuries you've had. But when you look at what Greg was dealing with in terms of personnel yesterday on defense, particularly the secondary, what's your impression of what they did? Not allowing a touchdown, and just kind of the job that was done there.
I think it just shows you that that group did a great job of playing team defense. I think it's something that has really been preached since day one, since Greg's gotten here on that side of the ball. It's about 11 guys doing their job, and it's not about 2 or 3 guys. I think when you do have a lot of those guys that were there at the beginning of the year playing, those guys could make some exceptional plays, kind of outside the box plays. I think when we kind of started losing some of those guys, I think everybody did a really good job of tightening up as far as just being assignment sound, and when their opportunities came, they made a play.
JP from Forbes, your line is active.
Adam, when in Miami, you guys were 0-3 on Thursday night, all on the road. Now, granted, the same thing you're facing this week. You were missing your starting quarterback twice. You had one game you had a bunch of injuries on the O-line, so injuries were a problem in all 3 of those games. But do you think you might, not asking for specifics, but do you think you might change up your preparation this time a little bit as opposed to what you've done in the past for such a quick turnaround?
That changes every year. When you get beat on Thursday night, then you try to do something different the next time. So we're trying something different this year.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
2 questions, Adam. Following up on that last answer, what is your plan this week? Are you just doing walkthroughs these 3 days? And then secondly, is Le'Veon fully recovered from his illness?
I think he's pretty close to 100% with his illness. He's not contagious anymore, so that's a positive. I think he's going to be in tonight for their lift. But we'll be doing walkthroughs. We're just trying to maximize the time. We're trying to get kind of put our guys in a position to get used to kind of the later night start, and we're going to kind of see how that goes for us.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Yeah, two-part question. Just on the Bell thing, Adam, so you said he's close to 100%, so I'm assuming, not to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming that means you expect to have him on Thursday. And the second part of the question, on a totally different subject.
Le'Veon had the flu, so that's why he was kind of out of the building and wasn't at the game and all that stuff. So, the doctor said that he's in a better, he's feeling better than what he was, and he's closer to being 100% than what he was 3 days ago. So the fact that they're letting him back in the building is a positive. So hopefully that everything should be lined up to where he can play on Thursday. I didn't evaluate Lamar coming out. We had him at our Miami day when I was down there, and he just worked out for us, and we just didn't think that. We weren't sure really where he was going anyways. He was down there for the Miami day through. Our guys evaluated, but I never watched him.
Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, you've won 4 out of 5. Obviously, last week was, the Cincinnati game was a pretty good setback. But do you feel like a team that's turning some things around and with the arrow pointed upward? Because it doesn't, obviously with the fact that you're out of the playoff race, the vibe doesn't feel that way. But yet, you've only lost one game in a month and change now.
Yeah, anytime that you kind of lose a game when you're in the middle of winning a few in a row, it's not the best feeling in the world. I know guys were really disappointed last week. I thought they did a great job of refocusing on Wednesday, came out, practiced well Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're really focused. I think guys have done a good job of just focusing on 1 week at a time and not really listening to anything outside of that. And that's the best way that these guys should go about it, because it gives us the best chance to win on Sunday or on a Thursday. I do think that these guys understand, it's all about opportunity, and there's a lot of guys getting opportunity right now, and we're trying to build things in the right direction, and just keep trying to get better week to week.
Please press *3 if there are any questions. Ryan from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, how does it influence how you call an offensive game when Lamar is on the other side and there's an offense that could score 30 or does regularly score 30 and, controls the ball with the running game? How does that influence the way you call a game and trying to maximize your possession?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we have to play well as an offense. We can't be going 3 and out and giving them more opportunities than what they're already going to get. That's the hardest thing about really kind of calling plays. It's not, you feel like every play is valuable. There's no throwaway plays. There's nothing, hey, let's try this. You need to be on it. You have to make sure that you do a good job of moving the football, converting on 3rd down, and scoring in the red zone.